Lakes. My name is Dante, and today it's Podcast Tuesday once again. And yeah, we just and yeah, we got an interesting topic. So basically, you know how March of the Machine pre-released. They made some really cool stuff. We got new mechanics, we got battles, we got backup and other stuff. Yeah, they also brought back plane chase. They added new plane cards. That you can get from the commander decks, and yeah, it's they're really cool. You just you get them by buying the commander decks, and they're really cool. You just um yeah so yeah um they're included in there. Unfortunately, the prices of the commander decks have risen because of this, but other than that, really cool feature. Now you can play plane chase more easily. So you get 10 plane chase cards. Five new ones, five the five reprints. So basically, in case if you don't know, plane chase is like um an extension to the commander format, which basically um and yeah um it's just really cool. So yeah, basically this podcast will be the 10 coolest playing cards. From uh, so yeah, basically basic and yeah, the playing cards and what you use in playing chase. So basically, so you have like a deck of playing cards that are like that is like everyone it's the same one for everyone. Put it in the middle, and then you just and then once everyone keeps their hand, they gotta uh create they gotta flip the top card, and then they planeswalk into a plane, or a phenomenon. It really uh I mean it doesn't really I mean it yeah, it just really matters on the card what you get, but yeah, it's just it's really cool. And yeah, so yeah, there's this basically the oh wait, what? Yeah, yeah, this is basically the topic of the podcast. There's no like best or worst. I'm just saying the most like the coolest ones. The ones that impact the game most. Like the one that's gonna have like a greater effect on the course of the game. If it's gonna you know. But yeah, first of all, we got a combo and a non-bo. First one being a combo for Hopper. New combo. It's just well, not really a new combo. I just discovered it now, but yeah. We got Pilipala and Careful Cultivation. So, Pilipala is a 2 mana 1/1 artifact creature. Scarecrow flying. And 2 mana untap, add 1 mana of any color to mana. And Careful Cultivation is 3 mana or enchant artifact to creature as long as enchanted permanent is a creature. It gets +1/+3 and has reach and tap for double green. And Channel for 2 mana. Discard Careful Cultivation to create a 1/1 human monk with tap for 2 mana. So this is really good as an uncommon for common. So this is a so yeah, you basically 3 mana gives a creature +1/+3 reach and tap for double green. And if it turns into an artifact or something, if you enchant it to a vehicle or something, it's not gonna fall off. And then plus you can overrise. You can just use it as a 2 mana land or elves with flash. And yeah, really good. You chant this to the Pity Pala and you generate infinite mana. You tap for 2 green, 2 mana, untap the Pity Pala to add 1 mana of any color, and yeah, you just get infinite mana of every color. Now for the non-bow, just be careful of this interaction. It's gonna disable the third part of the card, so yeah. So we got the Pala and just stuff that give it visions and stuff. So I mean, chances are that you're gonna play, vehicles and stuff if you're using the Pala, but still, even if you're not, then be careful of using stuff that give the creatures visions because then otherwise, because otherwise you're not gonna be able to use the Pala's triggered ability when it becomes tapped. Well, also because usually, unless if you're crewing or tapping for something, then chances are you're attacking with it. And if you use it with vigilance, then it doesn't trigger the tapped. It becomes tapped trigger. So yeah, but still, it's just you're playing a deck, around Pala. Chances are you won't have stuff that give the creatures visions, or if you do, then you're gonna have stuff that make sure that you're gonna be able to tap the creatures, like vehicles or other stuff, so you can um use them with vehicles or block with or attack them normally and then block with vehicles. But yeah, I don't know, just running out of ideas for non-bows. That's really what it's about. But yeah, let's go to the number 10. We're back to the normal theme because yeah, this channel no longer Origin, but yeah, because the set has changed. We got this Celestine Reef plane in Luvion, or Luvion's the plane. Celestine Reef is a reef in Luvion. That's just it. Creatures without flying or iron walk can't attack. When we roll chaos onto a player's planeswalks, you can't lose the game and your opponent can't win the game. So here's the really cool thing about this. This makes it hard to attack. You need flying or iron walk to attack. But yeah, flying and iron walk are still like some uh are still are still fairly flying is seen in a lot of creatures. Iron walk not much, but I mean flying is like the main thingy. So yeah, so yeah, yeah. Basically, so yeah, Celestine Reef is the number 10. Now let's go in to the so yeah. But then when you roll chaos, is the really cool stuff. So basically, you won't you won't be able to lose, and your opponent can't win. So basically, until someone else also has that benefit, then you won't be rolling this until you leave this plane. When someone else rolls it, that's when you may start, rolling it again to try and exit. So yeah, this is a really cool one. Uh, so yeah, number 10 for game interaction, restrictions. So basically, forces players to use less traditional methods of dealing damage, except if they have flying or iron walk cards. Chances are they're gonna have flying cards. Iron walk, there's not many creatures that have iron walk, but who knows? And yeah, basically the chaos is a temporary Platinum Angel. To the number 9. Here we go. got Nar Isle. It's a plane in Wildfire. Wildfire? I still don't get this. Is Wildfire a plane in Magic? Oh yeah! Wildfire is a plane in Magic the Gathering. And it's the one featured in Mirage. No way! No way! Oh, it's just a plane that was like on Wildfire or something. But no. Wildfire is the name of the plane. And Nar Isle is in Wildfire. But yeah. So yeah, this game interacts. So this actually puts pressure. You know, it puts a timer. And oh, only person who visited Nar no, the only planeswalker who visited Wildfire is Nico Bolas. Darn. But yeah, Dungeons and Dragons has the elemental plane of fire. So it's basically similar to everything Ember Wild is from Wildfire. Yeah. Shout of Nara. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually cool. Legends cards and yeah. But yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a plane. It's not like but yeah, it's so you basically put a flame counter on your upkeep. You put a flame counter on Nara, then deals damage to each equal to number of flame counters. So basically, it's you know it just grows exponentially. So you planeswalk into it, and you're the last one to get hit by it, but you're the one who's gonna take the most damage out of the cycle because next person, one counter, one damage, then two counters, two damage, three counters, three damage, four counters. So yeah, every turn it will stack up one counter and deal like extra damage. So it's gonna grow exponentially and deal lots of damage. So people have to try and escape this plane before it grows too much and they die. You know because it can deal too much damage. But here's the thing: the chaos allows you to lava spike someone, which isn't that impressive. But I mean, because especially since it's gonna grow bigger than free very quickly. So yeah, not really that impressive. The chaos is not really that good, but it does put a lot of pressure in terms of gameplay, and kind of forces the players, to get out of the play quickly, and because of this, they're gonna spend less mana on other stuff. This actually because yeah, you don't want to be on. Oh, let's just go to number 8, and it is Stairs to Infinity. This is actually a good one. So, players have no maximum hand size. Whenever you roll the player die, draw a card. So, this is this plane. It's just it's no maximum hand size to everyone, and then every time you roll the die, you draw a card. So basically, this plane kind of forces you to roll the die as you want to draw cards. You draw cards, you're gonna have no maximum hand size. You don't worry about this, and it's a fairly cheap cost. You get to roll the die once per turn for free. That's 0 mana. That draws you an extra card. 1 mana, then 2 mana. So yeah, you can just pay more mana to draw more cards, and you just hoard up lots of cards. But then eventually, rolling this die lots of times will increase the chance of you leaving the Stairs to Infinity. So chances are you're gonna lose that maximum hand size. So then you're gonna lose that no limits. So you're gonna have the maximum hand size, and then you have to discard down. But Chaos basically lets you publicly scry the planar deck. By that I mean you reveal the top card planar deck, and you choose if to put it on top or bottom. So basically you get to everyone gets to see what's the next playing card, and then you get to decide if it's the next playing card or if it's not the next playing card, basically. But yeah, everyone gets to know that. That's the bad part of this. Still, Stairs to Infinity is a really cool one. It just allows you to draw cards. It's cheap cost, but yeah, chances are you're gonna leave Stairs to Infinity quickly, because not because you're gonna want to try and leave the plane, but because you're gonna want to draw a lot as much cards as you can in this plane by rolling the dice. But yeah, let's go to number 7. It is we got Cassie. So uh oh wait, I forgot. Starts with Infinity is in Serets, whatever that plane is, but I don't know. Yeah, Cassie's plane that's in Estrad. Yeah, and this is probably more, like it basically is more, like restrictive than Celestine Reef in terms of its in terms of the uh static effect. So basically prevents all combat damage read out by non-werewolf creatures. When you roll chaos, each creature you control gets +2/+2, gains trample, and becomes a werewolf in addition to its other types on turn. So it prevents all combat damage read out by non-werewolf creatures. So chances are chances are you're not gonna have werewolf unless if you're playing a werewolf tribal deck. So yeah, yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's a really cool card, and but yeah, it just stops the damage from non-werewolves. But then if you roll chaos, you have to like, it's basically allows you to break free from, like the normally you're not gonna be able to deal damage with anything except for like werewolves. But then you can basically, but then this one what allows you is that you can it basically breaks you free from the limit and gives you creatures +2/+2 and trample on turn. So you do like an overrun, no, overcome actually. Turn your creatures into werewolves, and yeah. Also, not just that, your creatures cannot die in combat if you do this, unless the opponent can block with werewolves and stuff, because it prevents not the combat damage dealt to players, but combat damage dealt in general by non-werewolves. So yeah, this is a really cool one. So yeah, usually it's just it's a suppressive plane, that with the chaos allows you to break free unexpectedly from from that suppression for one turn and make your creatures much stronger. But then if you're playing werewolves, you're the one with an advantage because you got creatures that cannot die in combat and can attack players. So, let's go in to the number 6, and it is sorry, the microphone died. Let's see. Hold on. What the heck has happened to the? I have no clue. Oh, let's continue. The podcast. Yeah, basically, size near Loft Gardens in Ravnica. Of course, it's a plane, and double the tokens, double the counters, and the chaos ability is you get double mana on turn. So basically, what? Oh wait, the microphone has. Yeah, there we go. We're back to the microphone. So what I was saying is that yeah, basically it doubles the uh yeah, it. So yeah, it's basically like a primal vigor, and and the chaos allows you to like double the mana on turn, which isn't really that good because if you're rolling the die, I mean, unless if you roll it in the first try, if you get chaos on the first try, it's but yeah, still basically the static effect is really cool because you get to double the tokens and double the counter. So if you're playing a token deck, it's just gonna be really good. You play with plus one on the counters and stuff, or other types of counters. Even like uh, even like if you're playing planeswalkers, that is also good because it doubles the counters. So you have like more loyalty and stuff. But yeah, Celestial Loft Garden is really cool. Now it's yeah, our number 5, and we got Pools of Becoming. It's in Bolus's meditation realm, which actually is now his prison realm. The same realm that Bolus created. You know, for meditation and growing his powers. Well, it's now uses as his prison with Ugin as his eternal jailer. Yeah. So basically, the end step allows in so basically in your end step you have to like send all your cards to the bottom if your hand to the bottom, then draw that main card. So each turn your hand is gonna loop. It's not gonna like you're not gonna have the same hand forever. Just if you want to play certain cards from the hand, play those cards and yeah, the other the other cards and uh because yeah the other cards that's it. But if you and then you just keep on drawing. You can do lots of draw triggers, like Locust God and other stuff, and that's like really cool if you're playing those decks that play with card draw. But yeah, you just gotta. But yeah, basically, Pools of Becoming, play those cards fast before they disappear, because each turn your hand is gonna refresh. But but the thing is, if you have cards that you don't like, leave them in the hand. They will be replaced by hopefully something better, because it doesn't refresh to 7 cards, it refreshes to what you had before. But the Chaos, here's the thing. The Chaos ability is probably the most powerful Chaos ability in this case. Reveal top 3 planes and do their Chaoses. All 3 of them. And then send send those planes to the bottom of the deck in any order. You have to choose the order. But yeah, this Chaos allows you to do 3 Chaos abilities. Random Chaos abilities, basically. When you roll Chaos. Really good. So, yeah, Pools of Becoming is our number 5 plane. And, yeah. You'll probably be rolling this die, not just to leave the plane if you don't like this triggered ability, but because the Chaos ability is really cool. So, yeah. Pools of Becoming, number 5. Now, let's go to the number 4. And it is Mirror Depths. Spells have a 50% chance of resolving. This is basically what it does. So when player casts a spell, player flips the coin. If they lose the flip, counter that spell. And when you roll Chaos, target player reveals the top card of his or her library. And if it's a non-land, you may cast it for free. Wait, hold on. Who said you're gonna cast it for free? I don't know. Remember, you get to cast it without paying the mana cost. You still gotta flip the coin. Well, roll the die in this case. But yeah, you get the point. People don't even flip an actual coin. Most people just roll the die. Oh, shoot. I rolled an even. My spell resolves. because I called even. Yeah, I always call evens. No. No. My spell does not get countered. No, my spell does get countered because I call odds. I just remembered. No. I call odds that the flip will lose because I always call odds, even if odds is a winning flip or odds is a losing flip. I call odds. So yeah, the spell does resolve. Yeah. But yeah, it is really cool. So yeah, not only will you try to leave this plane because your spells haven't are uncertain that they're gonna resolve, but also because you get to cast some free stuff, from players from players' decks, like by rolling chaos. Not really that impressive because if you hit land, then that's it. But alright, you get a 50% chance of casting it for free. Otherwise, you get to mill it as well. You cast it, gets countered, throw it to the graveyard. But yeah, still really cool. Now it's time for a number 3, and it is. Oh yeah, this is in Carsis. By the way, number 3. We got Naya, the best plane for the early game. So if this plane shows up in the first or second turn, this is probably the luckiest plane that you'll encounter. You may play any number of lands on each of your turns. Here is the issue. If the reason why this is not the number 1 spot is because what if this shows up in the late game? It's basically pointless. Unless, hold on, unless Crucible of Worlds and a fetch land. You get infinite, you can basically play sacrifice, and you get infinite landfall. And then you can even tutor up all your basics and stuff. You get like you have an Evolving Wilds and Naya. And Crucible of Worlds. But yeah. Still, Crucible of Worlds is basically, oh no, Naya. It's actually a cool play. And then later on in the game, once you've played all the lands, you're just gonna want to leave this plane because, yeah, there's nothing else to do in this plane because you've already played all your lands. You just want to roll out, get out of this plane and just. But yeah, if you roll chaos, it's actually really cool because you're any red, green, or white creature you control gets +1 for each until turn for each land you control. So yeah, if you're playing those colors, then you can basically make your creatures very strong with this plane. But yeah, Naya, number 3 plane. You're just gonna want to be in this plane for 1 turn and then try and leave immediately. But still really cool effect. Time for the number 2. And we got so Mount Coralia in Dragonfire. Oh wait, I forgot to mention Naya's in Alara. Yeah, but yeah, Dragonfire. So at the beginning of your end step, put a pressure counter on it, and when you planeswalk away from it, use damage equal to the number of pressure counters on it to each creature and each planeswalker. So this plane, it's like a board wipe. That's once you leave this plane, it's gonna be like a board wipe, and yeah, it's just gonna stack up in counters, and you're gonna try and leave this plane before it gets too big, because once you leave this plane later on in the game, it's just gonna blow up and kill all the creatures and stuff, and planeswalkers as well. But if you roll chaos whilst you're trying to roll away from this plane, then your permanents are immune to Mount Coralia, so it won't get hit by the board wipe when you leave Mount Coralia. But still, it's a really cool plane. It's gonna board wipe it, puts intensity, in the game. You just try to escape it, or roll the chaos and then just escape later on in the game, just to kill off everyone else's creatures. And yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, that's only second best in my opinion. I mean, number one, the coolest one, new one actually, and it is Noctamoon in Amonkhet. Yep, each creature in your graveyard has Embalm. Its Embalm cost is equal to its mana cost. So, basically, your creatures can come back from the grave. That's it. You just creatures get you die. Your creatures die. You can now exile them from the graveyard. By paying the mana cost, to bring it back. Like kind of create a copy of it. That's a zombie and no mana cost, but really cool. You get to like bring back your creatures. Your creatures die once. You can bring them back. It's better than Grixis. Grixis basically what did is that your red, black, and blue creatures in the graveyard had unearth, which the unearth was equal to the mana cost, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, let's be real here. It was not really that good. But the chaos was not really that good. The chaos in Noctamoon. Oh yeah, the chaos in Grixis was actually kind of cool. You get to bring back someone's creature under your control from the graveyard. But this chaos is just you get to rummage. Nothing too special. The static ability, the best. You get to embalm your creatures from the graveyard. Any creature. And the mana cost is just and the embalm is equal to mana cost. There's no like additional cost you need to pay. And yeah, it's really that good. You just don't want to leave this plane. It's just that good. This is one of those planes that you probably don't want to leave. Like, it's really that good. It's really that fair. It's and the chaos is not even that good. Noctamoon is probably the perfect plane. You don't want to roll the plane or die once you get to this plane. You just want to chill out in Noctamoon probably for the rest of the game. Bring back your creatures with Embalm, and yeah, this is probably the best plane in the game. The most fun, the most like the coolest one, but yeah. But yeah, just yeah, let's be honest here. Noctamoon is actually really cool. Yeah, probably the best. But yeah, this is just a personal opinion. After all, this podcast is just my own opinion, on planes and stuff. But from Plane Chase. If you play Plane Chase, then just leave in the comments what would be your top 10, because this is an open podcast. It isn't one basically. This is one of those podcasts that isn't really factual based, more, and it's more opinion based. It's like I mean this is like those podcasts where I don't really go like to the efficiency of like something is good or bad, because some planes they have like bad effects. Some planes in this podcast had bad effects. Some planes in this podcast had good effects, and some planes had it's good and bad. So yeah, there is no such thing as a best plane. There's no such thing as a worst plane. But my opinion, Noctamoon is probably the best one, and it's one of the new ones as well. So yeah. But anyways, leave in the comments what would be your top 10. Will be your number one maybe instead. If you want to do a list of 10, and hopefully next podcast I'll just see how many phenomenons are there, and just hopefully next podcast will be a phenomenon podcast. I'll just see how many are there, if it's worth it to do a phenomenon podcast, and if not, just do a normal podcast, just like I always do. But yeah, Plane Chase is back. This is a special podcast, and yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye.